Okay. Hello, everyone. Namaste. My name is Namjong, and I'm very happy to see all of you here. We don't have any more space, it seems. But that's a good problem. So, anyway, I'm very happy and excited to be able to come here this weekend and share, I hope, a few mere drops of the ocean of the Buddha's teachings that my own gurus have bestowed upon me. So, since we are engaging in a Buddhist teaching, it's customary for the teacher to first pay homage or respect to the so-called three jewels of refuge: the Buddha, the teacher, the Dharma or the teachings, and the Sangha or the spiritual community. So I'm going to do that now, especially His Holiness the Dalai Lama, from whom I've received teachings on this very text that we're going to cover this weekend. So, yeah, let me do that. Maybe I don't need this. Okay, you may sit. Does everyone have a text? Does anyone not have a text? Oh.
So welcome to Tushita, Goa, Bodhisattva Healing Meditation Center. So Tushita, the meaning of Tushita is joyfulness. But the thing is that there are so many levels of joyfulness, and Tushita is supposed to be the highest realm of contentment and joyfulness. So Tushita Goa, Bodhisattva Healing Meditation. So Bodhisattva literally means the mind of awakening. And so there are different techniques of meditation to realize this highest state of contentment, like this. And this weekend we are going to go through Bodhisattva meditation, and according to the Vajra master, the mastermind, the people who have realized the nature of their mind, vaster is the motivation, vaster the result will be. So we can always wish joy for ourselves only, but according to the master, if we wish joy for all sentient beings and highest level of joyfulness for all the sentient beings, then we can realize something extremely special. So now the people who dedicate their life to this practice of meditation are called Bodhisattva. So the Bodhisattva, they dedicate their entire life to realize Bodhisattva, this mind of awakening, which is the highest state of joy. So Venerable Namjong is a Bodhisattva. He actually dedicated his entire life to study, to transform his mind to his highest potential. It's already like 12 years that he studied in a monastery in South India, close to Mysore, Sera Monastery. It was one of the main monasteries of Tibet. Then, Tibet has been invaded, and thanks to the exile in 59, the Dalai Lama has to go to India. So the main monastery has been rebuilt. The Tibetan monastery has been rebuilt in South India. Actually, Sera means wild rose. It's beautiful. So Venerable Namjong studied in Sera since 12 years, and he has, I think, 8 more years of study.
We'll see.
So, I mean, he dedicated his entire life to reach this highest state of mind, like this. So welcome to this 3 days meditation on how to become a Bodhisattva warrior. The 37 practice conduct to become a Bodhisattva warrior, and actually His Holiness the Dalai Lama in Bodh Gaya last December gave the transmission of this text and said this is so precious. I advise all the meditation center to study the text, and so that's His Holiness advice. Thank you for your presence. We are part of FPMT, which is the Foundation for the Preservation of Mahayana Tradition. This is the knowledge of ancient India, which has been preserved in Tibet. And now, thanks to the Dalai Lama, we can receive the scripture in a pure form. It has been kept in the monasteries and practiced in the monastery of Tibet during so long time, this science of mind. So rejoice, because this is pure nectar. And there are also different centers in India. One is in Bodh Gaya, one is in Dharamsala, one is in Bangalore, one is in Delhi, and we just started in November. So thank you for your presence and welcome. Have a great meditation.
Okay. Thank you, Capucine, for all your hard work in organizing this event. Also Lily and all the others who've helped out. Okay, so just some ground rules, logistics, okay? There's no microphone. I'm going to try to speak loudly, okay? I'm also aware that for some of you, English is not your first language. So I'll also try to speak clearly and loudly. But first thing, if there are anything or words that you don't understand or you need me to repeat something, then please don't be shy. You can raise your hand and say, what did you say? Can you repeat that? Okay? All right. Okay. So, yeah, wow. Again, thank you for all coming, taking time out of your busy schedule to come. I'm a little bit nervous. A lot of people, a lot of camera snaps here. The pressure's on. So let's start with a bit of meditation, okay? So let me just understand, how many of you have a daily meditation practice? What is that? This is simply, it's not something to be ashamed of, you know? Yes. Yes. You know? Okay. Great. So, let's start with a bit of meditation. And what I was hoping for this weekend, we're going to have some lecture, we're going to have some meditation, we're going to have some question and answer. So we'll be mixing things up. We're going to have some tea also. But for now, let me just give you a little simple instruction on one type of meditation that is becoming very popular. It's called mindfulness of the breath meditation. Okay? So we're going to talk about the various kinds of meditation in a little bit. But for now, as many of you are already getting into a very beautiful meditation position, okay? The point is, especially in the Tibetan tradition, the meditation posture is very much emphasized. So here we want to have a straight back, okay? So if you're on a chair, it's okay. If you're on the floor, that's also okay. But try to, not be slouched over, but rather be a little bit straight in your seat. And then you can think. One technique is to think that, like a puppet, your top of your head is being pulled to the ceiling by a string. And then you can also try to think that your body is centered. So try to imagine dropping a coin from your nose, and it should hit your belly button, hit your navel. So, not leaning over. Okay? So now working from the bottom up, of course, the lotus posture is the best. It's the most stable. However, even half lotus or even cross-legged is fine. That's okay. Okay? All right. Then, with your hand position, you yoginis and yogis here, you often see this. That's fine. You'll also see this, the hands on the knees. It's comfortable. In the Buddhist tradition, you'll often also see what's called the Dharani mudra. So, if you can't see through the table, the left hand down first in your lap, the right hand on top of it, and the thumbs gently touching like this, just in your lap. Okay? And then as we continue to work our way up, there should be a little bit of space between the elbow and the body, not too much out and not too much in. And then especially many of us, we have kind of rounded shoulders. So one thing we can do is just roll them up and back, opening up the chest, and making sure that the scapula or the shoulder blade is in line with the body. Okay? And then gently tuck your chin into your neck like this. You see? Just like that. Not to look down, but it's kind of a tuck. Like you see in the Bollywood movies, there's this dance move, Yeah. Right? So kind of like that. Okay? You'll feel some elongation in the back of the neck. Okay? So then next, we're going to be doing breathing meditation. And so we'll be breathing in and out of the nostrils. Okay? So the mouth should be closed, but the teeth not clenched. So keep the teeth in a natural position. And then have the tongue just gently touching the roof of the mouth behind the upper teeth. Yeah? And then just kind of create a little bit of a suction so that all the air in the mouth is gone. And there's a little vacuum in there. Just slight. Okay? And then lastly, with the eyes. So different meditation teachers say different things. But in general, although it might be easier to become concentrated with the eyes closed, it's also easier to fall asleep. So many of the meditation masters recommend the eyes be just slightly open, enough that light is coming in. Just like this. You often see in the depictions of Buddha, the eyes being half open. So just like that. Okay? So after we've gotten into the meditation posture, then the first thing we can do is quickly scan through the body from head to toe and trying to locate or identify any areas of tension. And so especially in the facial muscles around the eyes or around the mouth, oftentimes we can hold tension, we can clench the muscles. So just bring your mind's awareness to any areas of tension and release it. Then also many of us, a lot of tension in the shoulders. So just try to keep a balance between relaxation and strictness in the posture. And then if you see that there is some tension that's a little bit harder to release, you can imagine that you breathe into that area, say the shoulders. Imagine that you breathe into your shoulder area, and then as you exhale, all the tension that's being held there is also released with the breath. And in such a way, continue down through your body, all the way to the tips of your toes. Okay, so now that we've gotten into a comfortable yet disciplined meditation posture, the object of focus in this meditation is the breath. But actually, when we say the breath, what we actually mean is the sensations in the body as we breathe in and out. So here, notice, as we inhale, the abdomen or the belly rises, expands. And as we exhale, it contracts or falls. So this rising and falling of the abdomen is the object for this meditation. So here, we're working with the natural breath as it is, rather than trying to have a long breath or a short breath or to breathe for a certain number of counts. Here, just let the breath breathe. And just like an impartial observer, just notice what is going on. In particular, try to become aware of the split second when the inhalation becomes the exhalation and the exhalation becomes the inhalation. Try to feel if your belly, your stomach, is coming into contact with the clothing. And so also for us beginners, it's also helpful to count the exhalations. So breathe in, and as we breathe out, at the end of the exhalation, just mentally count 1. Breathe in again, exhale, and mentally count 2, and so forth. When we reach 10, start over again at 1. If, on the other hand, our mind gets distracted and we lose the count, then again, start again at 1. And as we try to remain focused on the breath, then other appearances, be they external, like sounds, or internal, other kinds of thoughts, they might arise in the mind. But resist the temptation to engage with them. You can notice that they've arisen, but just let them pass away. Don't get caught up in the story. So we'll do this for just 4 more minutes. Okay, so gently come out of the meditation and bring your awareness back to the room. Do you have one of those singing bowls? Hmm? Oh. What's that? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're done with the meditation for now. But, I mean, yeah. Okay, so with that meditation, everyone was clear on the instructions, how to do that? Okay. Okay. All right. So, before we get into things, it's very important that we, as we say, adjust our motivation. Adjust our motivation for coming here. And so usually I do an exercise with people, asking them why they've come. Why have you come here today? And I think Western psychologists do this, right? Whereby you would ask, why have you come? And then, I don't know, whatever the answer is, I've come to learn about Buddhism. Then they'll continue with a line of questioning. Why do you want to learn about Buddhism? Because I want to gain inner peace. Why do you want inner peace? And you continue in this line of questioning about seven whys. Then you get to something very interesting. Okay? So, in any case, although we have 3 days, that's not a lot of time. So we'll just skip ahead. Okay? And I'm going to say some things that you then please take as a hypothesis. Yeah? And see why you've come. Yeah. So, this, by the way, I'm plagiarizing from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So just to if I give credit, is it still plagiarism? Maybe not. But in most of the teachings he gives, he always starts from this fundamental premise that all living beings, not just humans, but all living beings want happiness and want to avoid suffering. Okay? Yes? All right. So let's examine this hypothesis in our own lives, right? And if we do so, we'll notice that even from the time of coming out of the womb, the baby crying. Why? Wants the bottle, wants the diaper changed, wants the squeaky toy. Kati, squeaky toy? Okay. When I was flying here from Delhi, in front of me there was a mother with a baby, and they're going through the security check. And all the stuff has to go through the X-ray. And the baby all of a sudden starts crying. Then I realized what happened. The baby had a squeaky toy, and the security checker took it away from the baby. You know? So then the baby starts crying. So then the security guard, a couple squeaks, the baby is okay. Okay, so anyway, that's a squeaky toy. Yeah? So yeah, so from getting your diaper changed, getting your bottle, getting your squeaky toy, the crying is the baby has experienced some kind of suffering, doesn't want that suffering, cries out for mama. Then as we get older, you know, start going to school, then the diligent student, you know, Friday night comes around, yes, I'm going to stay home and study. Yes, I have my exams coming up, I'm going to study. Some of you like that? No. Me either. The other ones, Friday night, sweet, going out to party, have a good time, right? So both of those, actually the fundamental motivation is the same. They're both doing what they think is going to maximize their happiness and well-being, right? Then, you know, in our adult life, right? The people who exercise, yes, very good. Or the people who stay home and, you know, do a Netflix binge. You know what I'm saying? I read that somewhere. So, same, right? Of course, the way they're thinking about happiness, well-being is different. And there's trade-offs we make between, you know, long-term and short-term happiness, physical happiness, or, you know, mental well-being. But fundamentally, everything is done in this elusive quest for happiness and avoiding suffering. Yes? So that we are going to use. This is not something we reject on the path toward enlightenment, right? But rather, just as we, you know, if we were to buy a new mobile phone or camera, right? What do? We read the product reviews, right? We check, well, which is the best one? Which has the 5-star rating? Yeah? Why? Because whatever it is, we're going to spend a few $100s, I don't know, on a phone. We don't want to waste. We don't want to waste the money by buying an inferior product. Yeah? So we check, we analyze. So here, we do the same thing with regards to happiness and well-being, right? And so, in general, when we look in the world, yes, there is happiness, there is benefit that comes from material development. Having a comfortable bed, having, you know, AC when it gets too hot, air conditioning, yeah, or a heater when it gets too cold, pleasant tasting food. I don't know, what do you guys like? Nice music to listen to, right? All these things. You know, given a choice, yes, I would rather live in a beautiful environment and eat nice food and not be too hot, not be too cold. Yes. I'd rather have a good reputation. I'd rather, you know, maybe lose 4 or 5 kilos. Yeah? All that. Fine. Would I rather be very famous? Maybe not. But in any case, you see, are those things sufficient? That's what we have to ask. Actually, maybe first we have to ask, when we look deeply in our lives, and the energy that we've expended, how much of our time, our energy, has gone into, we could say, arranging the world the way we like it. So, I was going to talk about this later, but I'll talk about it now. In Tibetan, they don't actually talk about, I'm a Buddhist. They don't use that terminology. But rather, they use this word nangpa. Nangpa. So nang is inside, and pa is, it's kind of like ER in English. We have drive, a verb, and then driver, right? The person who drives, right? You understand? So then we have nang, inside, and pa, like, you could say maybe inner being. And that's opposed to chiropa. Chiro is outside. Yeah? So the outer being. And how this etymology, yes, understand? Etymology, so it's studying, the parts of a word to understand the meaning, right? Like biology, bio, life, logos, knowledge. So knowledge about life, biology, Okay. So then when they explain the etymology of nangpa versus chiropa, right? The main difference is, the chiropa spends the energy focused on the outside world as the main method to gain happiness, satisfaction, and well-being. Whereas the nangpa, inside, inner being, right? Trying to enact some kind of mental transformation, mental development, as the main strategy for well-being. So now we need to read the product reviews, right, on these two kinds of happiness, you see. And again, another hypothesis for you guys. The ones that we view like small g gods in the world, are celebrities, right? Who do you like? Brad Pitt, whatever, right? Yeah? Shah Rukh Khan, whoever, yeah? We hold them like gods in the world, They're rich, good looking, powerful, everything that our society out there values, right? But then we check, right? And, it's almost as if, the society has a kind of formula that they give us, right? A checklist. You get this, then you'll be happy. Right? Yes? But then we see those people who've checked all those boxes. Are they happy? You can check. So, if you look, even among that class of people, and this is not bad-mouthing anyone, right? But you see, how much drug and alcohol abuse there is. Suicide, even the divorce. Divorce is a symptom of a deep dissatisfaction with life. Yeah? Yes or no? Okay. So then it should give us a little bit of pause about this formula, right? Yeah, it's okay, but I'm not totally convinced that is the answer to all my problems, right? So now we look at the other side. And there was a great Indian master, Shantideva, who gives an analogy. He says, where could you find enough leather to cover the entire surface of the earth? Right? So, meaning, you guys, in Goa, I see a lot of people walking barefoot everywhere. Yeah? But what happens? There's stones, there's thorns, there's animal stuff that you don't want to step on, right? So then, since you don't want to experience that, then you could, as a strategy, I'm going to cover the whole earth with leather. So I don't have to step on those thorns, I don't have to step on the cow dung. I'll walk on the leather. Yeah? But where are you going to do that? How are you going to find enough leather to cover the whole surface of the earth? Cannot. But what do we do instead? If we wear sandals, it serves the same purpose. Right? Now, hold on. I'm not advocating the use of leather sandals. Okay? I'm just, So similarly, then that's the analogy. Then Shantideva says, similarly, how could we, subdue all the unruly beings in the world? Unruly, right? Bad-mannered, yeah? You guys understand? In other words, no matter how likable we are, yeah, no one is going to come to the point where everyone on earth behaves just like we like them to. No way. Right? So no way can we subdue all the beings, unruly beings in the world. But, Shantideva says, if I subdue my own mind, what need is there to do anything else? Do you understand? So this is the one. This, I'm not sure, but maybe 90% sure. But I think this very realization is the first and essential step that we need that will propel us along the path of Dharma. Do you understand? Like Capucine wrote on the top of the stairs, right? That samsara means the cycle of suffering existence is to blame others. Seeing fault in others. Seeing fault in others. Right? Tilopa. Well, yes. I mean, you wrote it. You wrote the quote of Tilopa. Okay, let's be precise. Yes. Thank you. You don't want to plagiarize either. Okay, it's good. So this one, right? When you talk with your friends, right? Or maybe not you guys, but when you hear your friends talk, complaining, how are you? Right? How are you? How was your weekend? How's your trip to Goa? What do we normally say? If it's good, I'm great. Oh yeah, what happened? How was your weekend? Oh, it's so great. I went to a wonderful concert on Saturday. Sunday, I went out to this amazing place for brunch. Oh man, the crepes there. Ooh. Whatever, right? I met this cute boy. Whatever you guys talk about, think about it, right? Or the opposite. Oh, how was your trip to Goa? Oh, so bad. I missed my train. Then, the taxi driver tried to rip me off. Then, whatever, right? Yes. Does anyone say, how was your weekend? Right. Oh, it was great. This happened to me recently, right? So, someone cut in front of me in a line, and I was getting a bit irritated. But instead of scolding them or getting upset, I meditated on patience and was able to maintain a calm and peaceful mind. Great weekend. Huh? Ah. So anyway, this first step that's going to propel us. Ooh. Put that back here. Mindfulness. Okay. The first step that's going to propel us along the path is just this little doubt, just this little question that we have, right? That, hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe, the quality of my life, the quality of my experience isn't so much about what is happening to me from outside, but rather how my mind reacts. You see, we're going to get to this later, but this thought that our mind is the creator of our experience. Okay. Even if we don't think 100% now, just think maybe for now, our mind affects, the state of our mind affects how we experience the world. That's good enough for now. Okay? Huh? What do you think? 50-50? At first, it's 100% the world. Oh, my problems is because of my boss, my ex-girlfriend, Donald Trump, whatever. Right? Then we slowly come. Maybe 75-25, 50-50. Right? Ah. What? You're at 100% my mind? Nice. Yes. Okay. So anyway, since then we see that, our mind actually is a important factor in determining our experience in life. Then the next step, and this is why we need Dharma, because what the Dharma is just methods by which we transform the mind. You see, this concept, right, cause and effect is one of the key concepts in Buddhism, right? That, and here's another key concept, impermanence, right? Things are constantly in flux. Things are constantly changing, right? So, since situations are not static, fixed in nature, right? That means they can change. So, if we, kind of cultivate certain types of stimuli, right, in our mind, then we can enact a positive change, right? If, however, we, do something different with our minds, then we can actually degenerate, right? Yes? So, we're creatures of habit, right? Means any habit we're trying to cultivate or skill, playing the piano or playing the guitar, right? The first time, very difficult, right? Where are the keys? Where are the notes? What is this chord? How do I put my fingers? Right? But after a period of, training and practice, then eventually we can do it without looking, So, again, as Shantideva says, he uses a double negative, sorry. There is nothing that does not get easier through familiarization. Okay? The two negatives cancel each other out. That means everything gets easier through familiarization, through habituation, through training. And here then, you see, meditation, the word in Tibetan, again, gom, which actually means to familiarize, to habituate. So our job, what we're trying to do here, here in this room, but also in our lives, is to, first, with our negative habits, our negative ways of thinking, like person comes in front of us in the line, get angry, want to then, say something nasty to them, right? So these unwholesome habits, we try to then unwind. Understand? Unwind. Release. And then positive habits, we try to cultivate, increase. And what happens is, at the beginning, a lot of effort. A lot of effort is needed. But as we become more and more familiar, we'll get to the point of the master guitarist. Whereby these things just happen very natural, without much thought, without much effort. Okay. So, just so you know, what have we just talked about? The need to practice Dharma, and also what is Dharma. Okay? What is Dharma? The methods by which we enact some transformation of our minds. And why do we need that? Because we want happiness and don't want to suffer. And our mind is, where are we? Are we at 50-50? Our mind is a key factor in our experience of life. So, like His Holiness says, we have like physical hygiene, taking care, right? Brush our teeth, wash our face, cut out trans fats. Yeah? So here, this is mental hygiene. Mental hygiene. Being able to work with our minds. Okay. How's that sound? Good?
Yes.
Huh? So now, that's a general introduction. But we're going to go a little bit more than just general, okay? So here's the other thing I want you guys to think about, okay? Remember, just as you don't want suffering and you want happiness, everyone else is same. You guys understand that? Everyone else. Not just humans. The ants, the birds, all equal in wanting happiness and wanting to avoid suffering. Okay? So now, of course, why do we harm others? Because of our own uncontrolled, unsubdued minds, right? We get angry, we criticize, or kill. We have, uncontrolled lust, we cheat on our wives, right? We have greed, we steal, yeah? So, in general, the better we are at controlling our minds, then we'll cause fewer problems in the world. It's great, right? Great. But the other thing that we should keep in mind right from the beginning is that as we become more proficient in these methods to transform the mind, we'll be able to share this knowledge of the techniques with others and help them enact a certain, this is the same type of mental transformation. Right? So, think about that. And here now at the beginning of our weekend together, can I ask that we just set that as our motivation, as our intention, our motivation for coming here this weekend, right? Can we think that, the purpose of my life isn't just, to bring happiness for myself. You're just one person, right? But rather, this is interesting to think about. On a very fundamental level, the happiness and well-being of all living beings, not just in this world, but in the whole universe, is dependent on you. Okay. What was it? Just here's one small thing, okay? It's very nice. I was sitting over there trying to prepare. What am I going to say today? Capucine. Oh, wait. There's ants here. Yes? There's ants here. Okay, then sweeping up. Yeah? Okay. What? You have to understand this. You have to understand. You please. Where is it? Oh, the 5 precepts. No harm to living beings. Okay? So, you see, these 5 precepts, just as an example, right, are vows that, people take for the rest of their lives, right? Not to harm living beings means not to kill even those ants. You understand? So, just think. You take that vow. If you take that vow, I'm not going to kill another living being. Okay? Then, every single living being gets that much peace from you. Think about it. Every single living being gets that much peace from you. They've never met you. It doesn't matter. It's solid. You're not going to kill them. The ant. You understand? So, you understand this? I don't know. Thinking this way, it affected me deeply. Anyway. Is your question relevant to what I've just been saying?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can ask.
So what about accidental killing?
Yeah. So, okay, the question, what about accidentally killing?
So like taking the vow and kill someone
Yeah.
accidentally, then
Yeah.
the guilt about it and the whole story.
Okay. We will get to this later, okay? We will get into this whole thought of karma, I hope, a bit later. But you see, it's a big topic, but let me just briefly say, right? What I say at the beginning of this, the most important thing in any action that we do is our motivation, right? That's actually what determines whether an action is positive, negative, virtue, and non-virtue, right? Which is why I've launched into this whole thing about how actually I'm in the middle of our motivation still, right? But you see, if you go walking and you stepped on a bug, okay, you didn't have the intention to kill, you didn't know there was a bug there, so the actual karma, the karma of that action is very less. There's still some kind of residue on that, but it's easily purified. Okay? All right. So we'll get into that more later. Okay? See, but actually, if you're like me, the problem isn't accidentally stepping on bugs. Okay? If that was the worst of our problems, we would be in a much better place, right? The problem is these afflictive emotions, anger, jealousy, pride, greed, those come up very naturally, very powerfully, without having to invite them. You understand? So that's what we have to work on. Okay, anyway, so as I was saying, please at the beginning, now, we motivate thinking that the purpose of my life is to benefit all sentient beings, not just to work for my own benefit. Okay? And therefore, actually here, let's open the text. Can we? You have it? In the second stanza here, in the second stanza, we have perfect Buddhas, source of all well-being and happiness, arise from accomplishing the excellent teachings. And this depends on knowing the practices. So, I will explain the practices of Bodhisattvas. Yes? You with me? So, if you guys study more in depth, you'll see this verse is technically it's called the promise to compose the text. So this was a tradition even in the great Indian masters. At the beginning of a text, they would have this state the purpose of why they're composing this. So then, now we have like the back cover of the book, with like the blurbs and whatnot, yeah? So here they did it in the second stanza, yeah? So, the author of this text, he's stating why he's composed this, right? But we can just adjust that a little bit and have this as our motivation for learning about this text, meditating on the meaning of this text. You understand? Okay? So, remember I was saying 2 minutes ago that the purpose of my life is to benefit all sentient beings, and that the happiness of all sentient beings depends on you? So, perfect Buddhas, source of all well-being and happiness, arise from accomplishing the excellent teachings. So this is something very interesting we should know from now, yeah? Buddha, yeah? Famously, in the Buddha's time, he was asked, are you a god or are you a man? And the Buddha said, I'm awake. I am awake. So the thing we have to understand, you see, the perfect Buddhas arise from accomplishing the excellent teachings. What this means, see, the Buddha was not always Buddha. You understand? The Buddha, many lifetimes ago, many eons ago, was just like us. Means having suffering, having afflictive emotions, having anger, jealousy, attachment, all these various things. Yeah? But through accomplishing the excellent teachings, the Dharma, through training, practicing, meditating, and remember we said Dharma is the method to transform the mind, then the very pinnacle of this transformation, Sanskrit, Buddha. Tibetan, Sangye. Yeah? So Sang means to purify. Gye means to develop. So the Buddha, the Sangye, is just the name we give to those beings who have completely pacified, abandoned, purified all faults of the mind, and developed, increased all the positive qualities. That's it. So, you see, it's not that the Buddha is up on a cloud somewhere, with a clipboard and saying, oh yeah, I stepped on that bug, negative 20 points or something. No. The Buddha is just, actually, that's our potential. As living beings, you see, this concept, they call it Buddha nature. Buddha nature means the potential that not only all of us, but every being who is not yet a Buddha and who has a mind can become Buddha. Do you understand? I don't think you do. So amazing, actually. So amazing. I'll say it again. Every being who is not yet a Buddha, but has a mind, has the potential to become Buddha. And actually will become Buddha. Right? But the accomplishment of Buddhahood, here back to the stanza, right? What, again, cause and effect. If we have the effect of enlightenment or Buddhahood, then what are the causes? It arises, right? It arises from accomplishing the excellent teachings. Means practicing the Dharma. Means meditating, transforming the mind according to these methods. Okay? So, how then are we going to accomplish the teachings? But this depends on knowing the practices. Right? Makes sense. So here, this author says, therefore I'm going to explain the practices of Bodhisattvas. So for us, then we can just change. So here, I'm going to learn about, I'm going to meditate on the practices of Bodhisattvas. You understand? Why? So we can become perfect Buddhas and become the source of all well-being and happiness for all sentient beings. Wow. What do you think? So, try to think about that. You know, now at the beginning of the sessions, but not just that. Every day, when we wake up in the morning, you know, to think like this. Right? So, you know, we're going to get into all these different practices later, but don't think that, oh, I have to practice, okay, and then it's just like this. No. We're going to talk about, you know, all these different practices. You know, when someone criticizes us, to speak of their good qualities, right? That we don't do on the meditation cushion. That's what we do out in society, right? All these things, you know. Most of the practice is actually not on the cushion for us. Yeah? So anyway, then we motivate in this way, then every day, you know, we're constantly given wonderful opportunities for practice, aren't we? So anyway, you guys got me? Got it? Right? Why did we come here? Okay, just fake it. Okay? Try to think like this for now. Right? Because, by the way, again, as Shantideva has said, you know, we'll get to this later, but just as a preview, see, Shantideva says, there's not a need for many words. Okay? Childish beings work only for their own benefit, while the Buddhas work only for the benefit of others. And look at the difference between the two. This is the real, you know, Amazon review. You see, you understand? Means. Again, sorry, I'm just on a Shantideva train right now. But he says, all of the happiness that exists in the world has come from the wish to benefit others. Whereas all the suffering that exists in the world has come from the wish to benefit oneself. Verstehen Sie? That's the one. That's very tasty to think about, to meditate on. You see. So now, when we look at our lives and we say, okay, not just this life, but in the Buddhist cosmology, beginningless time. Why? Beginningless time, beginningless mind, beginningless samsara, beginningless suffering. And what have we done? What have we done? Really? We've always operated under what we'll later call the self-cherishing mind. Got to take care of number one. Number one is me. And so everything we've done, just been trying to get happiness from me, me, me. Yeah? I, me, mine. Now, how has that strategy worked for us? That's the question. Like Einstein says, or said, something like, the definition of insanity is to, do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Yes? So, what have we been doing? From beginning of this time? We've been operating as the slave, as the servant of this I am number one. The self-cherishing mind. We haven't accomplished our own happiness at all. Okay. The Buddha. See. Totally, as they say, flipped the script. So that's some American slang. Flip the script. Means, to flip. Means, does completely the opposite, right? The childish beings, that means us or me, right, work only for the benefit of ourselves, whereas the Buddhas work only for the benefit of others. Look at the difference between the two, right? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? So, the Buddhas then did the complete opposite, right? Instead of cherishing the self, instead of working for themselves, then did the complete opposite. Work solely for the benefit of others. And then accomplished the highest benefit for them, for others, yes, but for themselves too. So, that's maybe, just think, that's why we've come here. To learn how to be like that. To learn how to, get over these unwholesome states of mind, and to learn how to cultivate wholesome states of mind. So that, in the future, we can become perfect Buddhas, the source of all well-being and happiness for all sentient beings. Can we think like that?